What up? Silent Mike. First, just big shout out to my boy Connor, who's just fucking killing these edits. Follow him on Instagram. Give it a thumbs up for the dope edits. Connor's putting in the work. He's hustling hard. Really hard working kid. Appreciate everything he does. And I know you guys do too, because all the comments reflect that his hard work is paying off, and you guys are noticing that the production is heading up. Because I am a meathead, because I have my hands in a lot of cookie jars, doing a lot of different things, my editing skills were not progressing, but luckily I came across him. He's helping me out. More squats, my friends. Talking a little bit about my programming, though I've already mentioned it. You know, exercise selections, #1. Priority of exercises towards your goals. I find a goal. Right now it's still losing weight. I am down. Weekly average is down. I'm feeling good. And then you got to prioritize your exercises. For me, I'm still a powerlifter at heart, so squat, bench, dead. Not only am I a powerlifter, but I believe for those who seek to feel better, who seek strength, who seek muscle building, hypertrophy, who want to look better, have their clothes fit better, that those 3 lifts have to be involved to some extent, because they are in the world of lifting weights, the exercise you can handle the most amount of weight with, causing the most stimulus. Your body doesn't know what exercise you're doing, but those allow you to really overload the muscles and cause the stimulus to get better. I think we're about 500 pounds right now. Experimenting, as I mentioned in other videos, trying to go a little bit heavier before I get my rep work in. Then we're dropping that sucker back down and feeling the burn. I think I just did some triples afterwards, but for me it's squat, bench, dead. Some kind of shoulder movement. I like both the barbell overhead and dumbbell overhead press. #2, or I guess 4 and 5 beyond that, or 5 and 6, I already lost count. Chin-ups, pull-ups, and a row. I've gone over the different kinds of rows that I like to do to build up a big back, both here and I believe on Omar's channel. Chin-ups, close grip, chin-ups, wide grip. Rows, close grip, rows, wide grip. Whatever way and style you can handle. Still getting a lot of questions why I'm kind of squatting in this high bar position. For those that don't know, I hurt my back about shit going on 9 months ago. Just overloading shit with the conventional deadlift and the low bar squat that I used to squat a lot with my low back. So I put the bar a little bit higher, threw on some heeled shoes, and are using my quads a little bit more. Not a big deal. For those beginning, I suggest just putting the bar wherever you can. Don't distinguish high bar and low bar by the type of squat you do. Distinguish it by literally just the bar position, because what happens in the lower part of your body may be different. You know, you could be a little bit more hip dominant, a little bit more quad dominant, and still put the bar in different positions. Squatting 3 times a week. I am feeling beat up. I head out in the morning to Pennsylvania. Follow me on Instagram and Snap for faster updates. But I will be vlogging that whole trip. Benching 3 times a week. Again, feeling beat up. Combination of the squats and the bench volume. Have my elbows and shoulders feeling a little beat up. So a little bit of travel typically means that at least 2 of those days are traveling days, especially when going to the East Coast. It's about 7-hour plus traveling days, so I will not train. Let alone the diet and the calorie deficit. Just has me not being able to perform optimally. So that's kind of the balance of programming. So we already talked about exercise selection a little bit. Most bang for your buck, and prioritizing that by what will lead you to your goals. You know, if you're a weightlifter, an Olympic lifter, you obviously have to clean and jerk and you have to snatch, and then maybe you need to squat. You need to build up those legs, front squat, back squat. Maybe some kind of rows or pulls to build up your low back and lats. I'm no weightlifting coach, but just give an example of priorities. If you're a bodybuilder and you're lacking in the arms, you need to focus on maybe dips, close grip, bench, skull crushers, heavy barbell movements, close grip, chin-ups and stuff to build up those arms, right? So it's just priority for me. The priority comes in most bang for a buck. 1, to keep that strength, to keep that muscle that I gained in my year-and-a-half bulk. Incline press, any kind of press for me, they're all kind of the same, multi-joint, using those shoulders and elbows, pecs, shoulders, triceps, head, shoulders, knees and toes, my neck, my back, my pussy and my crack. I like to work out all those things whenever I can. Most bang for your buck. After that, you got to choose your frequency. What your body can handle. The more efficient you are at the movement, the more you can continue to lift that movement, and the more often and more volume you can handle. If you're a shitty bencher with shit bar path, elbows all flared, shoulders all untucked, shit stability, you're only going to be able to bench so often with a lower percentage and lower volume, because you'll get too beat up from the inefficiencies in your movement. Similar with the squat, if your hips are all shooting up, the bar's rolling around, your knees are caving in, the inefficiencies will take more out of you, both mentally and physically. So the volume, the percentage you use, as well as the frequency you'll be capable of will go way down. So that's why I always tell everyone to focus on speed and form, being a technician, focusing on lifting like a professional. I'm never going to be a world record holder. Oh, hey. I'm never going to be a world record holder, but I like to lift pretty. Overhead, I'm not as pretty as I'd like to be, but I'm working on it. Here's about 185, maybe 195. I might have some 5s on there for sets of 5. So after you figure out your frequency, what you think you can handle, it's time to figure out the volume you can handle. You know, some simple way to do it is, if you're squatting 3 times a week, do 3 sets of 5 every single day, maybe with differing loads. So you could do 60%, 65, and 70%. Do that for a couple weeks, see how you adapt. If you adapt, you can either add more sets or you can up the weight. It gets a lot more complicated from there, depending on goals and strength, you know, speed strength, endurance strength, muscular balances in terms of the accessory movements. But accessory movements is kind of the third piece. I guess intensity is the third piece that I guess I skipped a little bit in my head. Percentages you choose will be based on the phase, and the rep scheme you choose will also be based on the phase of training you're in. Closer to a meet, those rep schemes, you could still do some reps. Don't think about, you know, not every day will be sets of 10, but doing some sets of 10 closer to meet to keep fatigue high is okay. But what you're going to have to focus on is a little bit lower reps to get closer to that specificity that is at 1 rep max that you'll have to compete in. Here's finishing off with my arm work. One of my goals is to keep my arm size, because it's not very big in the off season. So I'm doing a lot of arm work 2 or 3 times a week, to be honest. Banging out some skull crushers. That's one of my favorite movements right there in the incline. Check back in the video about building big arms with tendonitis and not hurting your elbows while you're doing it. Appreciate you guys. Like the video, share the video, subscribe. More informational, more vlogs on the way. I'm out of here.